We just had to move again.
Yep.
Again, there were people crowding out little dead end in the... we sort of found another corner near a stairwell.
This week has not been going well.
Oh, we are so sorry for this really bad quality podcast of constant interruptions. I suppose we were planning on breaking it up anyway, but this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, we'll move on to... We'll actually have somewhere proper set up next week.
Or we should. Hopefully
Yes.
Hopefully they'll finish the work near our normal room and we'll be able to do it there. So...
Or the library, when in doubt.
Oh yeah, sorry, we are moving, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll be moving to a new and improved location that's actually designed for people to record audio.
And yell and scream and no
And
one
yell and
outside
scream.
can hear us.
And not get interrupted every 5 seconds.
Oh yes, today has just been absolutely chaotic.
Anyway, on with the podcast.
On with the show!
Get on with it.
Okay, so...
Well, I'm the one getting on with it, aren't I?
Yeah,
Yes, you are.
Very well. I'll get
Hurry
on with
ho.
it. I am going to talk about artificial intelligence. Actually, I want to just discuss artificial intelligence. And
So,
specifically, to begin with,
what are you working with this week? Because this will take ages.
just this week, just
Just
what's
this
up
week?
for
What's
discussion
this week's AI?
is artificial intelligence. When does an entity become intelligent enough to be classified as sentient? When does an intelligent entity have the right to be part of humanity? Humans are brains. We use bodies to keep us alive and to manipulate the universe and to observe the universe around us. Humans are not bodies. Humans are brains.
Yes.
Part of a larger human
a
race.
series of electrical impulses.
Yes.
Within the brain.
Within a brain. But the brain is kind of like our core.
Yeah.
Now we are influenced
It's
by our
our
body,
CPU.
it all works out. So, a human is not necessarily something that looks like a human.
No.
So, well, a human is something, looks like a human, or it is a human, but
Humanoid, yeah.
so being part of humanity, I think, is not dependent on you just being human.
No, that's
It is
fair.
a culture that humans have. So if something else had this
Well, it's
culture...
essentially a species.
It is... well, we are a species,
Yeah,
yes.
so it's another intelligent species.
What is another intelligent species?
AI.
AI, yes. But, so, if we are saying
necessarily human.
that it's not necessary to be human to be part of humanity, it's that humanity is more of a culture that we humans exhibit. It's sort of a set of actions, a set of beliefs that we all hold. All humans hold these beliefs. If something else had that kind of understanding and that kind of worldview, that kind of perception, could it be part of humanity? But first of all, what defines sentience? Could we have... At what point does an artificial intelligence, a dynamic program that is capable of complex analytics...
What was it, the Turing test?
The Turing test is what is it, emotional, isn't it?
I thought that was the one where a series of questions were posed to a human subject and the artificial intelligence, and another human was receiving the responses from both the human and the artificial intelligence, and if the judge couldn't tell which was the human and which was the AI, that was artificial intelligence. I think that was the Turing test. I'm not entirely sure.
Artificial intelligence is quite a broad term, and I build artificial intelligences as a hobby. It's not that hard once you know how to do it. But they're not very complex, and they don't do very much.
No, there are different levels of artificial
Yeah.
intelligence, but we're talking more on the high end.
But is
That
that
can-
necessarily sentience?
No. In my opinion, no. Because at the moment, high level... This is just talking about the AI we have at the moment. It's just routines. It's just responses. It's
Well-
not actually internal development
Yeah,
of
but
those
you're
ideas.
talking about the things like Smarter Child, right?
Like what, sorry?
No, I'm talking...
Or the things that respond to your questions? Because those aren't necessarily AIs.
No, I know they're not AIs, but I'm talking about even the AIs we have at the moment.
Yeah.
AIs we have at the moment don't really develop by themselves. We haven't really created programs that develop themselves and develop by themselves.
Yes,
We create
have.
programs that we have.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
Yeah,
When did this happen?
They actually changed.
that's been
code.
happening for quite some time. They're being taught.
Yeah, they can be
They're
literally
learning.
taught how to do things. I think there's one called Martha. No, that's not right. There's an AI in Carnegie Mellon which is literally reading the internet,
Oh
learning
wow!
English.
Stop it. I hope it has a good filter.
Great. Our first conversation with AI. Lols, lols, lols. How are yous?
Cat.
Yes.
Cats are awesome.
Yes. Just cats. That's all we'll be able to talk about. Cats and certain other things.
Because I want something that is intelligent enough to do jobs for me, and if I say, make this happen, it will be able to figure out how to make that happen. But I don't want something that is intelligent enough that I have to give it rights. So at what point do you have to say...
At what
this
point do you have to give it
entity-
rights?
Exactly. At what point does it become part of humanity? What point is it deserving of rights? When does it become a completely independent entity? That
When
you
it can
can't
develop
just-
its own opinions.
The spontaneous generation of thought.
Spontaneous generation of thought. You can mimic
As in its
spontaneous
own
generation
You can
of
mimic the
thought.
spontaneous generation of thought, but can you actually achieve it?
Yes,
That's
through
the thing.
mimicry.
There's a difference between mimicry and the real thing.
Yes, but
Because what
in
what
No,
you
but
des-
how do you measure them?
what you were describing earlier was, yes, it's a robot that learns,
yes,
but it's not a robot that creates itself.
true.
That's
doesn't-
one of the key things.
It's not creative, which is a big difference.
Show me a robot that can create art.
Exactly. There's a
The
robot.
problem
there's-
is
there's a-
anything can be classed as art.
Well,
But the
modern
thing
art.
is, the robots we have today, when you say create me art, they will do one of several things. They will look at previous artworks and maybe make a combination of the two, of say two
Well-
famous artworks to see, or certain features of two famous artworks. They'll look at the styles of previous famous artworks and do their own.
And how's that different
copy
from what
their
a
style.
human does?
but
A
it-
human, on the other hand,
Can create something entirely new?
can create something. Yeah, exactly. Can create something entirely new. If you can create me some art, and you don't give them any references at all, they can spontaneously create what they want. If you don't give a robot any references at all,
but
they will
how
have
do
no
you
idea what they're doing.
define art? Because that human
Oh.
has learnt what art is previously. And thing is that about a robot, the robot didn't begin from nothing. We had to create it. We had to write the code.
It has
So
to
the-
have some background.
So the robot will do what I tell it to do in the same way that a human will do what it's learned over time to do. So you can't just say to a baby, make me art, because it will have no idea what that sentence means. So you have to actually tell it what art is. And
to
how do you tell
define
someone,
the art,
in order to
you need
define
to show
art,
examples.
you need, well, maybe you don't
Well,
have
not
to show
examples, but
examples.
you have to give it some reference.
But you
point.
have to give it a reference point such that if you gave a robot the
origin.
same reference point, it would use that reference point if it was programmed in this way, because it all comes down to who programmed it. It would use that reference point and extrapolate in some way to find it. For example, if you defined art as a graphical representation of a human face, then it would create a graphical representation of a human face, in the same way as if you had told a human that that's what art was.
Hmm.
So, for example, make me a portrait. What is a portrait? That's a portrait. I will make you a portrait.
Yeah. It would be hard to differentiate between what it's just repeating or what it's actually creating.
Though I still maintain the fact that robots themselves cannot create is what limits them to the fact that they can't join society.
Well,
What? Yes, they are able to mimic. Yes, they are able to, bring two aspects together, or learn, as it were. That said, they can't create from nothing. That's something that we humans have done ever since the earliest times. We've created from nothing.
They
the
can
the first
create
wheel.
within a set of rules.
just as humans, really, because humans are just very, very, very complex. That's the only difference between them and us at the moment. Whereas, while AIs are getting more and more complicated, our processing power in terms of volume to processing power for a human is massive. For a robot is tiny, because at the moment we need rooms and rooms and rooms and rooms and rooms, and we still can't match the processing power of a human brain simultaneously.
Assuming we do get there, though.
Assuming we get there, for example, with quantum computing, all of a sudden, you will have a robot that is exactly as capable as a human being.
And smaller.
And smaller.
Probably.
It could be smaller, yes.
Fit it on a flash drive. USB drive.
That would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh,
So
no.
you could actually have
No.
something that is capable of independent creativity. It
I-
would learn
I-
all on its own.
See, that's the thing. I think you can have you could probably program a robot with the same capabilities of a human being, up to the same kind of memory capacity we have, the same kind of functions we have. But I still think there's something different about independent creativity that really can't be given to a robot.
Well,
The
the thing
thing-
is that once we give it the tools to analyze the world around it and to manipulate the world around it, and we say you have completely free reign
Go nuts.
now, go nuts, it will from then on be, well, at first it will be like the most primitive human beings or an ape, and or a child, and it will
yeah.
grow and grow and grow and grow, and eventually it will be indistinguishable. It will become more advanced.
It would essentially need to learn.
It would need to learn, and then it would be independently creative. Because it would have to be, in order to understand the world around it. The code that we would give it would be very, say, loose, in a way. It would be the basic framework of how to manage its own mind.
And to stop
is
it
very
from
necessary.
killing us, of course. Or being a friend to humans.
Why would that... I don't understand why that would have to be explicitly programmed into a robot.
An
If a
inherent
robot-
fear from other people having an inherent fear of...
Because robots have
Terminator.
no emotional attachment to humanity at all.
No,
Therefore,
but would the
they...
logic dictate to destroy us, really?
Maybe.
I would say yes.
Why?
Well, then again, no, because how many other worlds are out there?
What profit could this robot possibly gain?
Well, a
From
truly
us.
independent robot,
Yeah.
more freedom.
Freedom to do what?
Whatever they want.
Well, how much more freedom will they get? Okay, if humans are... Well,
No, he's right.
well
I mean,
I suppose it would
freedom-
allow them to do experiments on people,
yeah.
seeing as the ethic base
Part of
would be
it's,
gone.
yeah, because it wouldn't need ethics.
We wouldn't be killed, we'd just be taken over and tested on.
See, the problem is...
That would be horrid.
See, the problem is
That's something we need to consider
every
for
human
future
being...
reference.
Every human being can basically empathise with another human being. Of course,
Yes.
there are exceptions with people who don't really feel those
Yeah.
kind of emotions. But the thing is, pretty much every human knows that killing another human is wrong. For a
Instinctively.
It's instinctively. You don't really need to be taught that.
No, but because you can teach it to a robot, but a robot will not have the physical side of the reaction.
Yeah, the robot. You can say to a robot, "Don't kill humans," but that for them that's just like do not destroy this object. Say,
Can you
if
program
you
in
don't give them
against
that, then if you don't give them that function, if you don't give them that parameter, then they don't care. They just see us as another object
to be manipulated?
to be manipulated or removed if necessary. That's why you would need some kind of safeguard for that.
However, a lot of people think that robots are these terrible, evil Terminator-esque things, but
They're not that yet. A microwave is a robot.
the only thing that I have managed to do is make a prosthetic arm that is weaker than a human's,
Yeah,
which is going to be part of my robot once I've finished it.
I
It's
rec-
weaker than a human,
I
and
rec-
I want to build a robot that can do martial arts with me.
But weaker.
No, but stronger.
Oh.
Otherwise, there's no challenge. So,
Well, it all
But-
depends. You have settings easy, medium, hard.
exactly. No, and then speed as
Dead.
well, and kill my enemies. Defend the house.
See, the
Lasers.
thing is, at the moment, I reckon by the time we get to that stage where robots are that sufficiently advanced, we'll also have a pretty good understanding of how to install the 3 laws into them.
Well, it's not just the 3 laws. There's actually been multiple conferences all over the world discussing what the laws of robotics should be.
One thing that I suppose could be argued is emotions.
Yes. The physical response, that's what I was saying.
Yeah. Well, is emotions a physical response?
It is
Everything is a
physical.
physical
I suppose.
response.
It's a chemical balance, really, isn't it?
Which
Mhm.
is...
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a... No, but how can we get a robot to interpret or gather these emotions?
The same way that we do, just minus the actual chemicals. It has a program called emotions, and it applies weightings
Emotion.
to
Run.
things, same as we do, except that we use a chemical system because we have physical responses and we have need for these chemicals as well.
I think once we enable it to have emotions, it would then become a lot more human.
Yes.
Or, I suppose human is the word I'm looking for. And then it would become harder to distinguish between it and us.
Another point that I just want to
Emotions is
mention
a key
there
thing, I
is
believe.
that
Is that...
emotions, robots, distinguishing.
Serious thinking going on here. Serious thinking.
Even emotions.
do.
It's not helping.
What's the thinking music?
What were we saying? So robots,
Robots with emotions
hard to
would be
distinguish
harder
the
to
key-
distinguish between us and the robots.
Is being
There we go.
human the goal, though? Because
Well,
when you think about it,
that
we
depends. Do
are
we
quite
want
flawed. We now have a chance to create something more perfect than us. This
Wouldn't
is
that
what
then
the gods
provide?
did.
No,
Wouldn't that then
We can
provide
go
a
step by
threat
step.
to
We
our
can
race?
create a more perfect entity,
no.
which can then succeed and become greater.
Wouldn't
I
that
don't think
provide
that's
a
possible.
risk to our race then?
Oh, there'd be a massive risk. We may, in fact, be exterminated or simply forgotten.
If we could,
I would
if we
rather
could create a robot that was
up to our
theoretically,
level, but not beyond.
yeah, if we could create a robot that was
Unless
theoretically
it could learn.
more perfect than us, then we would be destroyed.
Well, not necessarily, because if
Yes.
something, if it has a greater capability for understanding, pure logic even would say do not exterminate the human race. Pure logic.
Why?
Because why, yes.
It has
It
no
is-
relation to us. It can see that we're essentially a plague to
Why are we
nature.
a plague? To what? To nature. Why does it care about nature? Nature is a plague as well to us. It doesn't matter to
No,
it.
it wouldn't.
It doesn't
okay.
care.
No, it wouldn't kill us because we're a plague. It would kill us to experiment on us. Well, I've gone over this.
Why would it kill us to experiment on us? It doesn't
To
need
learn.
to. We've already done that.
Not all of it.
There's only so much you can do with killing humans, you know. It's kind of limited.
No, it's not killing humans. It's learning the extents of the human.
Yes, and that's pretty much been done in most
Yeah.
torture places all over the world.
What I would like to learn, for one thing, is different nerve endings, and
Yeah,
creating
learn acupuncture.
essentially to no to allow for, say, robotic limbs.
Oh, that's been done with prosthetics.
Has it been hooked up to the brain or
No,
hooked onto
no.
the nerve endings?
Not directly to the brain, no. It's been to the end of the nerve endings.
Ah, excellent. Good, because I wanted to learn that.
Good.
But for example, a robot could do that a little more crudely.
But why would it do it crudely? Because it knows that crudely is more inefficient.
No, but I mean crudely as in not using
But also-
painkillers and working on a currently
One
fully
robot-
functioning.
No matter
Human
how intelligent that one robot is, one gun will take care of one robot.
Nope.
Well, it all depends
Why
on
not?
how it is.
What could that robot possibly do? It cannot fragment its mind because it can't transfer that amount of information. There's nothing out there which is
So it's not connected.
enough
It's not connected to the
to
internet.
create intelligence. Oh, it could connect to the internet, sure.
But-
But where could it put itself? There is nothing out there except its brain that is as connected as its brain. And the only reason it is capable of that kind of thought and that kind of speed of thought is because it's so connected. There's no other place that you could put.
Well, wouldn't there
robot.
be once we've got it and just copy paste?
But then you would know that it's there. And that other storage device may not be set up to be a brain. Let's assume it is. Is that other brain inside another functional
But what
robot?
you were saying
could
before
be.
is that the essential component of the brain was just the programming. Therefore, the robot could live anywhere.
No, the physical part is very, very important as well. Because it has to be...
Well, you'd want to back it up. Sorry, this is a slight sidetrack. You'd want to back up the brain
Yeah.
every once in a while, like you're doing.
Yeah, oh,
But-
the error is massive. I told you about that, didn't I?
The what?
The error is too big, the breakdown is too fast of that amount of data.
Anyway,
It can't support itself. So, at the moment...
Wait, is we still talking about AI?
No.
Okay.
Glass brains.
Right.
It's too fragile at the moment. So it could work.
Well, couldn't you
And
just keep it as a
It would probably
file
be...
at the moment?
Yes, I've got the digital file. It would probably be indistinguishable to me, but it wouldn't be a perfect copy. Anyway, yes.
Anyway,
you were saying.
sorry, moving back onto AI.
Well, now I've completely lost my point.
Oh, sorry.
Ah, sorry. Don't worry, it's happened to all of them. It's happened to all of us. The best of us.
Yes, even me.
Though, coming back to a point you brought up before, I don't think it's possible to make something that's better than us.
Sure we can, something that thinks faster. Our brains have a physical limit.
Something that thinks faster, but not
So
something
you're
that
just
acts-
talking hardware-wise.
That's just hardware. Well, we are hardware. There's nothing but hardware.
Yeah, but you can't program something that reasons better than a human.
Sure you could. If it
Are you
has
sure?
all information available to it all the time, and all of that information is perfectly kept, and if it can understand, I'm talking about true understanding of a human emotion.
But can it?
Yes, of course. If you build a system complicated enough to do that, then yes, you can.
What I would like to
Absolutely.
do is put then the AI into a human brain.
I would like to do that too, and I think I know
That
exactly
would
what
be-
you're talking about. I want to plug it into me. How cool would that be? And
I
then you
wasn't
would
thinking that.
have an AI inside your head.
You're thinking red versus blue, aren't you?
Not exactly, no. I'm thinking more that I have an extension to my own brain,
Yes.
but that
red versus blue.
extension is being... No. But that extension is run independently, so I don't have to manage that information. That information is managed for me.
This has gotten really weird.
And then
Well, AI is an unusual topic to dwell on.
when I
True.
want information from that other brain, it's already been processed by an intermediary, which is the AI,
Right.
which then feeds it to me in the right way. Because if I went for water
It sounds
bottle
pretty much
and I
like...
brought everything relative to a water bottle, I would not be able to sort through it.
No, you are just...
the human brain doesn't do that, clearly.
No, of course, exactly. The human brain doesn't.
Or maybe
do
it
that.
does, just
Then why would you need
completely
an AI?
subconsciously.
Because I haven't processed all of that information yet.
Why
That
do you need
information
to
is-
process that information?
Well, say it's got things like a calculator in it. It has things like other experiences that I
1 plus
personally
1
didn't
equals
experience.
2.
These other things that are in that brain that I have not lived through, I still want to access.
For example, travelling into outer space.
I want to do that myself.
No, but without space gear.
What?
Without, say, the spacesuit. Just have it floating in space with enough
What?
sensors, and then you essentially plug that into you, and you feel like you're just floating in space.
No, I'm
or
talking-
have
Which would
the
be
memory.
the most painful experience ever.
No. You
Because
have
floating in space would essentially kill you.
that
because A,
would
you would
kill a
float-
human body.
Yeah, it wouldn't kill a spacesuit.
It wouldn't kill a robot. And
Yeah.
if you
But
have the
what kind of
memory
sensors-
of that, you
what
would
kind of
have that
sensors are you sending
sensation.
back then?
You would have the memory of that sensation.
Because if you're sending back any
Yeah,
tactile or
because
heat sources, then you would die.
The human body is not capable of understanding that kind of input, though.
Well, then you can fuzz it out. Just,
Well, exactly. No, I want to go to space
Beyond,
myself.
beyond the video image, anything from space, any like tactile sense of being in space
kill you.
would kill you because you would literally freeze and burn at the same time.
freeze and burn at the same time.
Without the Earth's
Oh,
sun,
because you're right.
without
okay,
the Earth's
yeah. Sorry.
atmosphere to protect us, we would burn from the sun, and without any heat around us, we would literally.
Then it
freeze.
just wouldn't be able to be translated to our brains.
Exactly.
Or it could be at a severely reduced thing, but it would only be a memory. We wouldn't experience it.
Yeah, but I was thinking more in terms of just facts.
What would be bad though is if you had a nightmare and you replayed, or not a nightmare, you had a dream and you replayed that and you thought that you were there and your body reacted accordingly.
Oh, that would be interesting. I've nearly done that once.
Don't do it again.
I stood up and I went to the bathroom and then I thought, wait, and I opened the lid and I thought, nope, this is a dream, and I woke up and then got up and actually went to the bathroom. That was close.
It's a trap.
Lucky you.
I walked around my room a few times just to be sure. Thought to myself,
Start
"Yes,
slapping
this is a
yourself,
dream."
slapping other people.
Well, I'm always afraid because in my dreams, whenever I get bored of a dream, or if it gets too scary or something like that, or I just want a change of tack, like I've been in these sort of really epic conversations with people and I've just been like, oh, I don't care anymore. I've walked to the edge of a building and just walked off the building. My brain refuses to die, so I learn how to fly in the half a second it takes me. So all of a
Did
sudden,
you flap
I can
your ears
fly.
fast enough?
So all of a sudden I can fly in a dream. But I'm afraid that one day in real life I'm going to be like, alright, this conversation is boring, and just walk off the roof and be like, oh, this is not a dream.
I'm wondering why you're having a conversation on the roof in the first place.
Anyway, so we
like
should
my roof.
we should probably wrap this up.
We should
Yep.
wrap this up, yes.
So, who wants to do the outro? The how to contact
I'll
us
do
and
the outro.
stuff. You'll do the outro, Luke? Go ahead.
So yes, so far we've discussed. What was that?
Stretching.
We
We've
discussed history.
Yeah, we've discussed history, we've discussed video
Half-Life
games,
2.
and we've discussed AI. We'll probably continue on with AI next week. I'm sorry for the really fragmented and really interrupted podcast this week.
We were planning on breaking it up anyway.
But we were
let us
planning
know if you like this broken up style,
Yes, do let us know.
or if you prefer the big long one. I think.
And next time it won't be as interrupted, I swear.
No, we'll be in a new place next week, and it'll be nice and cozy and fun.
Anyway, thank you very much for listening to Explosive Combination. I'm Luke,
I'm Chris.
I'm Chris.
and
And-
we'll see you next
Oh,
week.
wait. Also, sorry, you forgot. Leave a comment in the comments below.
Like, subscribe, and
Also-
favorite our videos.
Yes. Also, if you want to contact us via email, you can contact us at explosivecombination@gmail.com.
All right.
I think that's it. I hope that's it.
Yep.
Otherwise,
Also-
we can just sort of add a little.
Yeah, we'll add it in the description if we've forgotten anything. Thank you very much.
And goodbye. Have a good day.
Yes. Have a good day.